What is up, everybody? I am JW Raider, and this is the 2545 by Perry Homes here in the lovely community of Six Creeks in Kyle, Texas. Today we're going to be talking with Adam Larriva from Perry Homes about this beautiful floor plan, what's going on in the community, and why Kyle is such an up-and-coming neighborhood, especially for those looking to be close by to Austin, only a 35-minute drive into downtown, and have all the amenities and all of the things close by that people want when they live in an area just like this. Come on, let's go take a look. What's up, friends? I am JW Raider. I am here in the beautiful Six Creek community of Kyle, Texas with Adam Larriva of Perry Homes. Adam, this plan is super cool. We just got done walking through this. Tell me a little bit about Perry, what you guys do, who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Perry's a homegrown Texas builder. We serve in every major metropolitan area throughout the state. The plan that we're in right now is our 2545. 4 beds, 3 baths, plus a game room. What we always hear about this plan is it feels a lot bigger than 2,500 square feet. Just with our design, the open concepts, the huge windows makes everything really feel a lot more like you're getting more than just the 2,500 square feet, especially with 13-foot ceilings in the entryway, an ensuite, and a big game room. You're getting a lot of space, a lot of bang for your buck when you get plans in this 50-foot product range.
For sure, it feels that way. And I always say, like, good elements of design are an indication of good design is when you are in a home and it feels larger than the actual square footage. It's designed right. And I think Perry does a really nice job of that.
Yeah, intelligently designed for sure. It's something we definitely take pride in.
For sure. And you mentioned something else that's my favorite about, in having worked with Perry, I know this. Ceiling height and natural light. Those were the two things that I always touched on and that really stick out to me about these floor plans. And I think that's what leads it to feel so much larger. Those are two things I think you guys, it seems like you put a lot of thought into.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about Six Creeks. This is my first time out to the community. Beautiful location. The setting's awesome.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing out here.
Six Creeks is definitely unique for the Kyle area. I'd say it's a very like gateway to the hill country vibe. You get the serene aspects like overlooking the hills to the west side, but you also have suburban amenities right here. We're about 35 minutes from downtown Austin, and being further south in Austin, you get some really interesting lifestyle choices as far as visiting San Marcos. Go hit the rivers. We're 20 minutes from Wimberley, even experiencing Buda. There's lots to do in this area for sure, especially if you're a growing family, or a lot of our clients are actually people downsizing, moving to the area as well.
Well, it makes a lot of sense because Austin, right? Austin proper is, as we know, incredibly expensive. So you can come here, still be relatively close to everything. You said 35 minutes to downtown.
Yeah,
I mean, that's anywhere nowadays, right? Like you can't be closer than that and get something this size, and especially at the price point and the value.
Right. I think people moving to Austin now, it's more normalized to start living in these suburban areas rather than living in the city of Austin. It's at the size now where like it's a lot more practical and like normal just to live in a suburb outside of Austin and commute into Austin, because you get like way more for your money. You get newer homes, bigger homes for, you know, the medium price that you would get, you know, maybe not the home that is your dream home in Austin.
Yeah, and to your point, this home in Austin, I hate to even hazard a guess on the price point on it if we're talking in primo locations.
Right.
Because your construction is just different than, you know, we see a lot of builders and, you know, sometimes they're slapping these things together. Perry is still a stick-built, like true. I walk in this house, it feels much more custom. Is that kind of what you guys are shooting for?
We definitely take pride in like having a lot of custom aspects. It's more personalization, but there's a plan for everybody. Between all the plans within the entire company, between the plans and the elevation, you have 475 options that you can choose from. So if you have something that's really specific for what you're wanting or needing for your family or whatever stage of life that you're in, we probably have a plan that fits it.
Yeah, if you can't find a plan out of 475, you might be right?
Yeah, right.
So you talked a little bit about the amenities here in Six Creeks. Tell me a little bit more about what's going on there.
We have a pretty sizable amenity center in the center of the community. That's where our stocked fishing pond is, pickleball courts. There's a trail system around there too, playgrounds for the kids, and they're gonna build an identical amenity center on the north side of the community. We're about halfway done building here in Six Creeks.
Fantastic. So you'll have quite a bit more opportunity coming up.
Yep, about 1,000 more homes between all the builders.
Wonderful. I love learning about the community, what you guys have got going on here, but even I think more is something that's really cool that I see happening is Kyle really expanding, really coming into its own. How do you see that going on as someone who lives, works right here in the area?
Even in the last 18 months, it's changed quite a bit. What I think is really cool that's coming to the area is that Kyle's eventually going to be one of the most walkable cities that you can live in Central Texas. They're building an 80-mile trail system of walkable, bikeable, 80 miles, not always walkable, but you can connect to any part of the city that you need to go to from this trail system without having to get in your car if you don't want to. So it's eventually going to become a very lifestyle oriented, outdoors, mixed use type of area to live in.
Well, that's super cool, especially for, you mentioned you get some folks moving from Austin, and that's going to be something that a lot of people will miss if they're moving from the city center, is that walkable nature.
Of course, yeah.
And Kyle replicating that in a more suburban setting, that's really cool. Adam, too, another thing that I know that Perry really prides itself on, beyond just the beautiful designs and floor plan, all the floor plan selections, is the standard level of finish, and how even a home at the base level pricing is going to come very well equipped.
Yeah.
Can you speak a little bit to that and what you guys are doing that might be a little different?
Yeah, I mean, for us, you're always going to get 4 sides of masonry. Things that stand out within the home is getting a wood tile, base level tile in every home. Yeah. Some things that you can't even see once you're in the home, we pour a stronger foundation than what's required, about 20% stronger than code requires for the foundation, and we use a higher level of lumber. Number 2, yellow pine lumber is higher quality than what other builders are doing.
Yeah, for sure, and that speaks to, there's this, as somebody who's walked through a lot of houses with a lot of different folks, there's this time where people will stop and they say, I don't know, this one just doesn't feel right. And that's, I always say, what you're feeling construction quality. If it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't feel substantial, these homes absolutely do. They pass that test, and it's because you're putting the stuff behind the walls that doesn't have to be there, but you, to a trained eye, when it's not.
Right, paying more for, more expensive materials, paying more for more expensive tradespeople, and paying more for more inspections throughout the build process is just something that makes us stand out with our construction.
Well, certainly, and it ends up paying off. It may not be an ROI positive for the company. It may not be, because you're spending more money that people really can't see, but the end product is just so much better for it.
Right, and I think that's one of the perks about being a homegrown, private Texas builder is, we're not worried about, making shareholders happy. We want to make our, buyers happy.
That's incredible. Yeah. I want to ask, you have obviously a wealth of knowledge here about your product, about your community, what's going on. You're somebody I would love to ask, what do you recommend for new home buyers as the first time they walk into this model, the processes they should expect, or tips and tricks? How can they make this process run smoother? How can they make it a better overall experience for themselves?
Yeah, I think strategizing beforehand with your realtor, or if you've talked to a lender before, I'd say getting the pre-qualification is so important before you even start the home buying process. Because if you're unaware of your budget or how the whole process works as far as closing on a home, then you're kind of going into the home tours blind on where you're going to end up.
Well, and right now, to your point, with a lot of incentive happening around the new construction space.
Incentives are everything.
Right, with interest rates being high, that kind of thing. You mentioned people getting pre-qualified. It's huge, because that could be that one of these things, like you have said here, that showcasing a 5.99% interest rate, that could make all the difference in how much they can afford in a home, because they're saving hundreds of dollars per month in a lot of cases. By using that rate, it changes affordability for folks. Adam, I so appreciate your time, your expertise on this. You've given a lot of really good tidbits here. I want to give you just a chance real quick. Tell me a little bit about what's next for Six Creeks. What's next for Perry Homes here?
We're gonna be expanding more 45s, 50s, and 60-foot lots in the community. The current sections that we have now, we're about halfway sold out with those. What's standing out for us in our 50-foot section, if you're looking for a home in like that mid 2,000 square foot range, and you want a 3-car garage, we're probably the only builder in this area that can really accommodate that and give you a luxury experience in a luxury home at the same time.
That's huge, especially for my relocators who have grown accustomed to basements, i.e. me. When I moved here, I was like, where do I put all my stuff? That 3rd-car garage can, I mean, of course, if you have a 3rd vehicle, great, but for a lot of folks, it ends up being really valuable storage because you don't see very many of them.
I think it's huge too.
Absolutely, yeah, that's really great. Adam, I so appreciate the time. Thank you for the expertise. It's been great.
Cool, I appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Thank you so much for taking a look through this beautiful floor plan with me. Hope you learned a lot about the community. Hope you learned a lot about Perry Homes, what they do, what makes them special. If you found this valuable, please like and subscribe. Comment if there's an area that you want me to cover next, and we'll see you next time.